There are some other background related CSS properties such as background size and background attachment. So the background size um, um, basically um, specifies the size of the background image. So there are four different um, syntaxes that you can use with this property. The keyword syntax like auto, cover, contain, right? Or you can use the one value syntax. That means it sets the width of the image, or you can use the two value syntax like first value width of the image and the second value height, or the multiple background syntax are separated with the comma. Okay. So in this case, the background size, the image size are set to be 120 pixels. You can use percentage units as well. And these are the keyword syntaxes. The background size, so auto means that's the default value. So the background image is displayed in its original size if you specify it as auto. The length, set the width and the height of the background image. So you can set the first value as the width and the second value as the height. If you specify only one value, the second is by default set to be auto. Okay. And then the cover means it actually resize the background image to cover the entire content. That's what we mean by that, right? Even if it has to stretch the image or cut a little bit off one of the edges, right? So it's resizing. If you want to cover the whole element, you can use a cover. The contain. So if I want to resize the background image to make sure the image is fully visible, I can use the contain. Okay. And then the initial, this actually value set the property to the default value. It inherits this property from its parent element if I want. Okay. So likewise, you can set different background sizes. So I can actually demonstrate using W3 school. So in this case, you can see the background size for these two elements, example 1 and the example 2. So example 1 is this div element, and then the example 2 is the second div element, which contains a couple of other elements like headings and paragraphs. So you can see here the background size as well the image size actually. Background image size with the percentages, right? Setting different percentages. Same image but different percentages. You can see that. Yeah. So if I use an example for background size cover, so for example, say take an example here to cover the whole entire container, right? So here in this case, the background size, I use the cover. So the entire container, for the example one div, it covers the background image, right? This image. Okay, that's the cover. Contain. So the contain, if I get the example, contain. So in this case, you can see the background image is resized to make the image is fully visible. It's the content. So it's, even if I resize, you can see that it's fully visible, right? The whole image. Right, so that's the background size. Then the background attachment. Now this property actually sets whether the background image scroll with the rest of the page. If I want to scroll, I can set it to scroll. If I want to make it as a fixed position, I can say fixed. Okay. So use an example. Let's see in this example. So you can see, so there is a bunch of paragraphs in this body. So if I set it as scroll, the background image to attachment to scroll, so if you can see, when I scroll it actually disappears, right? But if I put this to fixed, right, so what happened, it fixed, right? It will not going to scroll with the rest of the elements. So it just in a fixed position. Right, so that's about the background attachment. So I can group actually multiple properties into one shortcut form. In other words, I can set the different background properties in one declaration form using just keyword called background, right, or property called background. Okay, so so that's how we can use the background, right? So if I use the shortened form, I can use the background color, image, position, size, repeat, or other property values in short form, right? So that's about the background property.